Now, you might have heard about this LGBTQIA toolkit in Victoria that tells public library staff to ask young children whether they identify as a he, she or they. The Victorian government launched it last year. It also says that librarians should avoid gendered language and offer pronoun badges, pins or lanyards to people who come in to borrow a book. Who knew that going to the library could be so complicated? Well, it went to a debate in the Victorian Parliament yesterday after a petition calling for it to be scrapped secured thousands of signatures. Bev McArthur is the woman who launched the petition. She's the opposition spokeswoman for local government and scrutiny of government in Victoria, and she joins me now. Bev, well done. You got 4,700 signatures on this petition. How did the debate go last night?
Oh, well, predictably, Caleb, those of us who think libraries should be places of learning and a love of books and not indoctrination, were opposed by those who think identity politics is important in libraries. So it was all quite predictable. But, I've got to thank all the people out in Victoria who signed the petition, physically signed the petition. You actually only need 2,000 signatures to trigger a debate of this sort, and 4,700 plus people signed it in double quick time, under 30 days, and so it triggered the debate that we had last night. But the predictable arguments were levelled at us, but I'm here to stand up for children who hopefully can love books and use libraries for the right purposes, and parents don't need to be afraid to take their children to libraries and find that they're going to have a drag queen event happening or some very unfortunate books being presented at them while they ask what pronouns they would like to use. 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, I ask you.
It's ridiculous, and it's no coincidence that they come after kids because, of course, as they say, the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. If you can get them young, you get the ideology out there, away you go. Some better news, though, Bev. Just this afternoon, we learnt that the Victorian government has lost its bid to keep COVID briefings that were used, of course, to justify the world's longest lockdown in Melbourne secret. The government took this to the Court of Appeal because VCAT knocked them over last year. The Court of Appeal has now chucked it out, and this is after a long-fought battle by your colleague David Davis to get these documents. They may well go on to a higher court again now, but this is the second time that a court or a tribunal has said that the people of Victoria deserve to know the reasoning that was used to lock them down.
Well, this is absolutely secret state stuff on steroids, Caleb. And I've got to say, David Davis has done an exceptional job at fighting this fight, at one stage representing himself. But the Court of Appeal, that was 3 judges, absolutely ruled against all the appeal points of the government, and they're meant to supply the documents by the 12th of April. Their next point of appeal would be to go to the High Court. So this Victorian government absolutely denying Victorians the opportunity to learn how they came to make these egregious decisions that locked us all down. But now they're keeping the documents safe. Now, this really is a scrutiny of government matter because we need to know exactly what a government did, how decisions were made in that pandemic. We've got to learn from them. We've got to make sure we never make such terrible decisions again in the future. But hats off to David Davis, who's kept fighting this fight since 2020.